Hey everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of Moving Forward podcast. I'm Chriz. It's been a long time and I'm so happy you guys are here. In the past, I've had one, two, three, probably two podcasts that I've started but never really continued doing it. Mostly because of myself, lack of motivation, or I just don't feel like doing it because I feel like a failure. And I feel like sometimes, in my brain, I would be thinking about why would I be talking about stuff that I don't even have my life figured out. And I didn't like that. I didn't feel inspirational because inspiring people, if that's your goal, should come from within. But yeah, this is the first ever episode and welcome. I'm so happy you guys are here. If you're listening in your car, hi, drive safe. If you're watching, wherever you are, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. I think I'm gonna start calling you guys my besties because I feel like I have a deep relationship with you guys. With you? Yeah. So why did I start again? A new podcast. I feel like I'm in a better mental state now. And the podcast title, which is Moving Forward, is such a growth mindset or mentality that I feel like I have and will always have. This way, whenever I am not mentally okay or I'm not happy with my achievements in life, I can still talk about it, the failures, the mistakes, through this podcast because there's no pressure to be perfect. I am shooting raw. I'm trying to be unfiltered. I'm gonna give my honest opinions, my honest thoughts, and honestly just 100% rawness of life because life will never be perfect and there's always going to be problems we have to solve. And it doesn't mean that if you're not happy right now with your career or with your life, doesn't mean I'm going to stop recording, because at the end of the day, these are all the small problems in life or the big problems in life, depends on how you see it, are just the plot twists. And at the end of the day, when you're older, when you're richer, when you're wiser, when you're more successful, it's just going to be a part of your story. It's like a plot twist in your success story. So yeah, and I hope you guys will share this to your friends if ever you find this podcast or this episode entertaining. Or if not, then you can just say hi in the comment section or you can reshare the stories and tag me because I love seeing your posts. So yeah. So for this episode, I'm going to be talking about some of my failures recently. Okay. So 2 weeks ago, let's just say a month ago, I did my knowledge test in ICBC knowledge test because I'm trying to get my driver's license here in Vancouver, British Columbia. And segue, I am shooting this outside because that's going to be the vibe of the podcast. I don't want it to be very secluded in just one place. That's why I have wireless microphones. I have a tripod and a small camera. That way, when I feel like I need to share something, I can just film without pressure of having the audio perfect or the lights or the camera perfect. No, you're not gonna see it here. You're gonna see the most raw podcast episodes in moving forward. Okay. Let's go back. One of my failures that I recently felt like such a big heartbreak, but I'm trying not to feel that it's a heartbreak. A month ago, I had to do my knowledge test, and guys, I failed it, even though it's so easy. Well, it was also my fault because when you enroll yourself, or if you buy the course, no, scratch that out. If you book a knowledge test, it's a driving knowledge test for British Columbia, ICBC driving test something. You're gonna have to study, and I downloaded two apps. The first app is ICBC Prep and the second one is just ICBC, and I was studying the ICBC Prep. And when I got into there, you only have to commit 11 mistakes out of 50 questions, and I'm at my 15th question. I already made 11 mistakes. So while I was doing the exam, it's very strict. You can use your phone, of course. It's touchscreen, and there's just gonna be photos and whatever. Just the normal driving test. It's not like shading. No, there's like photo, and you're gonna have to analyze a road problem. Like, this is your car. If you're turning left, what is the most? Where do you have to focus on? And so like A, B, C, D, and I failed it. And I was so shocked because I did so much work with the ICBC prep knowledge test. But then I realized to myself, oh my God, I actually studied the wrong application. Again, I'm supposed to study just the ICBC, but I studied the wrong application. And so I was so devastated because I was already planning a lot, like get my knowledge test now in the next 2 days, get my driving license, and in the next few days I'm gonna send this program. Like I tried to plan vigorously. So I was so heartbroken when I failed the knowledge exam because it's just so easy. But me, I'm not a quitter. I booked again the next day. I studied so much, so fast in a short amount of time, and the next day I thankfully passed the exam. After passing the exam, after 3 to 4 days, I booked again the driving test. Like literally driving test where you have to bring your car or someone's car. You're gonna do like a whole 20-minute route, and the instructor will tell you, okay, turn left if it's safe, turn right in the intersection, go here, go straight, do a reverse parking, do a parallel parking, where's your light signal, where's your left signal, do your test, do your warning signals, all that shebang. And in my brain, I have already been driving for more than 7 years in the Philippines. So I was like, you know what? I'll watch a lot of YouTube videos of like simulations on how to drive in British Columbia, which I did. I booked it, and then before the exam, like for example, the driving exam would be like 9 a.m. So I booked a car, like a car driving company from 8 a.m. So from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I could test, warm up, exam with my instructor, and it's just 1 hour. Why? Because I was so confident with myself that I know how to drive. I've never been in an accident, which was my fault because I've been in an accident, but it wasn't my fault. Like I was just staying there and somebody hit me. So yeah, overconfidence. I arrived, I did the test, the driving test, and I failed miserably. So much mistakes, so many rules I didn't follow, so many rules I had mistakes on. And the guy from ICBC was so frustrated with me because it felt like it was my first time. I could drive. I could drive from point A to point B safely, but that's not the point. That's not how you pass the ICBC driving exam or the driving test. You have to follow the rules. There's a different rules when you're turning to left. There's different rules when you're turning to right. There's different lanes that only bus lanes can enter, and I entered into a bus lane. So I failed. The ICBC guy was so frustrated with me. He had to basically press on the brakes probably 2 or 3 times. I was so disappointed with myself, but I knew I was going to fail. The thought of it was that I had overconfidence for like, I can do it like 75%, But but at the back of my mind, I know that if I don't pass now, it's okay because that way I know the mistakes because they're gonna write down all your mistakes, all your errors, so I know what they're really looking at. And here, no matter what you do, you turn left, you turn right, you need to do a shoulder check. I don't think we do shoulder checks in the Philippines. And shoulder check is basically doing like, oh, if they say like, if it's safe, turn left. Example, if it's safe or if you can, turn left in the intersection. So there's going to be a process. First is you're gonna scan left, center, and right. You're scanning your front. Okay, then you do a signal to the left, That's the second process. And then you shoulder check. You basically do signal. You go to the back of your car, like look at the back of your car, shoulder check. Like signal, good, shoulder check. And then you turn left. Guys, in reality, I don't think people really do shoulder checks that intensely. Like you have to be like this and you have to like, oh my God, I'm having PTSD right now doing that. So yeah, I failed. Again, overconfidence. I thought I was gonna do it on my own with only just 1 hour of warm up and class, but no. I was wrong. And so I was like, okay, I know my mistakes, I know my errors. I can just get classes for like 3 to 4 to 5 hours with someone else. And then probably I can do the exam again. I was wrong. Because if you fail the first time, you're going to have to wait for 2 weeks for you to be able to retake the test, the driving test. And so I waited 2 weeks. And so, but before that 2 weeks, which was yesterday, guys, everything's happening in real time, I swear. I booked Sunil, a great friend of mine. Actually, not a great friend, but a driving instructor turned friend. And he loves me. He always tells me, like, oh, when we're in class, I feel like time is so fast. I keep telling him, duh, because I'm funny and it's good because you're getting paid hourly. And he always just keeps laughing. Anyway, so I think I did like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 7 hours of driving lessons with him, just doing the basics. Not driving, but like, because I can drive again from point A to point B safely, but the rules are different here in British Columbia, Canada. So yeah, I had to learn how to turn left, which is so different from the Philippines, which I need also to unlearn. And turning right when it's red, turning right when it's green, turning left if it's a green, and turning left when it's a green and there's a signal. Whole shebang. And then Sunil, yesterday, my exam was 9:45 a.m. and we started our last 2 hours of class from 7:30 to 9:30. And so he was like, you know what, you're gonna pass today. He was very inspirational. He told me, you're already good at driving. I don't think there's anything that you're gonna be failing on or having errors on. So I was like, okay, you know what, let's do it. So I did that and I failed again for the second time around. So how did I fail? The driving was good. Shoulder checks were excellent. The driving instructor from ICBC basically told me, oh, you can drive safely. You're good at it. You're great at it. But there were two mistakes. There were two mistakes I committed that I didn't actually learn from my driving class, which we never talked about. I was on a lane which is only for buses. And yes, you can go on that lane, but when you're there and you know it's a bus lane, you have to like change lanes as fast as you can. In my brain, when I was in the bus lane, I was just driving normally and I was looking at the lanes and it was a solid white line on that lane. So in my brain, I want to go to the left lane, but in my brain, because it's a solid left lane, it's a solid white lane or line, I can't go to the left or I can't change lanes. And then my instructor was like, you know, this is a bus lane, right? And I was like, I didn't know. I didn't know. I just didn't see that it was a bus lane logo, because before you go to that lane, there's like a bus lane logo before you enter that lane. And so he's like, you know, this is a bus lane. And I was like, yeah, it's a bus lane. I just basically said, yes, it's a bus lane and we're going to do it here. And he was like, okay, then you need to change. I was like, oh, okay, I'll change. And then I go to the left. And that's one first mistake. And then my second mistake was, again, my driving was great, guys, just the rules. My next driving mistake was I was on a lane, on the right lane, and it says that only on those right lane, you have to turn right. But those turning right, it goes to like a shop, like a random food shop. I'm not going to a random food shop just because I'm in a lane that says you have to turn right. So that's my second mistake. So I failed again. And after that, we didn't even do a lot of tests anymore. He just let me finish, and we went back to the ICBC thing. And then he was like, I'm sorry, but today is a fail day. It's a no pass for today. He said that. I was like, okay, yeah, I totally understand. And then he said that, oh, yeah, the bus lane, we were in the bus lane and I didn't notice. And I asked him, like, okay, if I was in the bus lane, how many seconds can we use the bus lane? And he was like, no, not even. You can use it, but you have to go change lane as soon as possible. And then he also said, like, oh, you also missed a right lane turn. I was like, okay. And he was better than the first guy I did. The first guy I did, he was nicer than the first guy that did my driving test evaluation. Also because I got better on my second driving test. Yeah, he told me about my mistakes, but he said, like, I'm a good driver. He knows that I can drive. It's just that those two mistakes, well, he's gonna have to fail me, Anyway, so that's it. And I have to wait 30 days to book my driving test again. Uh, the night before yesterday, I had a lot of fun. Like, my love tank was full, and I'm so high in life. I had so much fun, and then when I arrived and it was a fail, I was sad, but at least there was someone who comforted me, and that felt really nice. And I felt really sad. Well, hugs and cuddles helped, but when he was gone, because he had to work, I had to, like, I don't know, like, to process, because it took me a lot of dollars to, a lot of money just to take for the exam and to do all the class just for me to get a fail again, which I totally understand. If I was the instructor too, I would fail that person because you literally committed two mistakes and you're not supposed to commit mistakes because you know how to drive. Anyway, so that's my journey with failures yesterday and the last 2 weeks. So I feel like yesterday and today which is so bad because I need to process my emotions fast. Like, I need to move on fast. And I used to move on fast, but just yesterday, I think it's because, like, it's a double whammy. It's a double failure because, no, I felt like the night before it was such a great night and a great morning, but then I took my test and then it was a failure, and I have to process it alone, which is not a bad thing. I've always done things on my own, not a problem. But from getting this high in life and then getting a failure, and then it was a lot for me to take in, so I literally just stayed in bed and did stuff at home. And I think that's also a good thing. I'm not really sure. I have to process again my emotions, but I'm still heartbroken from it. The guy I talked to was like, I feel your sadness. I feel like you're angry because after the exam, we had a debriefing in my house, and he was like, tell me what happened. This is what we can do. You can even use my car and stuff like that. He was really nice, which I'm very thankful for. And I felt like that helped. And if I came home and he wasn't there, I felt like it's gonna be like a weird vibe and a weird emotion for me, because I could probably cry when I was alone. But yeah, he was very helpful, which is so sweet of him. And he had to go to work at 11, so we had to say goodbye. Anyway, that's it. I'm still kind of sad about it, and partly I want to do productive things on my own. Oh, by the way, today is actually a holiday in Canada. It's a Canada Day. So yeah, that's one of my failures for this week. What else did I fail? I cannot remember, but that's a story I wanted to share with you guys, because maybe next episode you're gonna be seeing me driving. We can even do a podcast driving. And again, this podcast is supposed to be giving you honest stories. And I'm not going to promise anything informative or scientific or amazingness, but I'm going to promise authenticity and just my heart ranting to you like a FaceTime bestie. Because I feel like you are my bestie. A lot of my IG friends know all my shebang. And I don't even look at my IG friends or my IG story viewers, because if I do, I could see a lot of people I get intimidated or overwhelmed with. And because if I do that and I feel like, oh my god, this the CEO of this company in Canada watches my story, so I have to like be a certain person. I don't want that. I stopped looking at my viewers and it does me good. I can post whatever I want to post. I can say whatever I want to say. But of course, with discretion of, you cannot just post shitty stuff that would send out hate. No, you have to be responsible too. But yeah, authenticity and just sharing your daily emotions, it could be helpful for you. People can use it against you, but at the end of the day, who the fuck cares? Life is freaking short. If you feel sad today, let's feel the sadness. And yeah, I'm excited. That's the first episode. I'm gonna have guests over, some of my best friends. I'm also gonna be inviting people who's gonna share stuff that is gonna be helpful for you, my audiences. But again, this is just gonna be a fun, raw podcast episodes, and I hope you will enjoy it. And if not, then you can just shut your mouth. What else have I been doing? It's kind of the day today. I'm gonna clean my room. I'm gonna make sure it's cozy and stuff. Probably do. Ooh, that's my phone. Episode two podcast. And also, if you guys notice, I'm outside and I'm outdoors. And if you hear the cars, it is because I'm in a highway or in a freeway. Is this a highway? Let's just say I'm in a road. We can be beside the ocean. We could be in a room. You could be seeing different backgrounds, because I want my guests, or I want myself, to feel like it shouldn't be too strict. The podcast shouldn't be so strict that I can just film. Like if I have a random thought, or if I have a story time that I really want to share it to you guys, then I can just pull out my microphone, my camera, and a chair, or wherever I am, and I can just talk to you guys, because that's the vibe. That's going to be the vibe. You and me, besties forever, okay? Thank you guys so much for listening to my first ever episode for Moving Forward. This episode, or this podcast, we will be talking about progress in life, and it's highly, highly inspired by Angeli Dobb of Life in Progress podcast and Angeli Dobb of Access Travel podcast, because I love her. Okay, I'm gonna give the flowers to her. She inspires me to be better in life, to do good, to be great, to travel, and just do your best unapologetically, and just having fun with life and documenting it. And yes, she inspires me. That's why this podcast is all about progress, self-growth, manifestations, and just being your authentic self, and making sure that we reach the goals that we want, reach the dreams that we want. And if we don't, then it's fine, and we have to move on. And we can always document our failures, our mistakes, because those things, regrets and mistakes, they are memories made, and that's from Adele, huh? And they will also make you better and brighter and smarter and stronger. Also, this is inspired highly by my good friend Ayin Bernos and Ate Riza Lana. I'm a fan of their podcast called Camp Confidence. It's all about self-growth, business, authenticity, and just being better with yourself, self-development, self-improvement, and just enjoying life every day. That's the point. Sabi nga ni Rufa May Quinto, girl, like, let's not overthink about next year or next year. Let's have fun now. If you love someone, and if you're in a fight with someone, Forget about the fight. Just tell them you love them because we never know our life here on earth. I'm getting emotional. I don't know why. And yeah, that's going to be the vibe here. We're not going to be talking about, oh, for our 30th episode, I want this to be like this. No, I want it to be a progress, like level one. This could be the shittiest episode, or the next episode could be better, or maybe our 10th episode, even if I've done it 10 times already, it could be a shitty one. And it's okay because it's a progress. Linear growth is always linear, and it's always never going to be up, 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 up. It's always up, down, and then you go up, and then you go up for a few weeks or a few months, and then you're down again. And that's normal. That's life. And yeah, I think I'm rambling too much, and I'm so excited to share this first episode with you. Again, I'm Chris. I'm based in Vancouver, Canada. And then in the next episode, I don't know what topic to talk about first, but to talk about next. I'm sorry. But again, this is going to be random, but I'll make sure it's authentic, it's fun, and we're just going to have a good time. Again, I'm Chris. Hi. My roommate was walking, and we don't have a personal relationship because she lives upstairs and I don't have access upstairs, but it's fine. She said hi, I said hi. That's life. And I need to practice that because I told you guys I want to film outside, and people will always look at people who is filming outside like a wild influencer in the wild, like, and that's normal. Exposure therapy. Do things that scares you, do it all over again and again and again until you realize to yourself, you know what, there are there are scarier things in life that I did, and filming in public is a piece of cake. Again, thank you so much, guys, for watching the first episode. I'm not going to keep you long. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Do not forget to always have fun, but be safe. Always make sure that you're happy every single day, because happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. It should not come from other people. It should not come from compliments. It should not come from anything. It should always come from you choosing or having the mentality that when you wake up in the morning, I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to be happy today. I'll do things that I love. I'll do things that fills up my cup. And yes, that's it. I love you guys so much. And do not forget that life will always be, no, I have to make thank you guys for being here. Moving forward, Chris. Bye.